Here's Josh Earnest from the press department at the White House. Joining me now, Lieutenant Colonel Ralph Peters, Fox News strategic analyst and author of Hello Richmond. Ralph, welcome.
It's great to speak
so much to talk about. And in terms of the White House reaction, he just detailed all of the different conversations that have been going back and forth between Chuck Hagel and his counterpart, John Kerry and his counterpart. What do you think about that?
Well, I think the White House statement was blessedly wishy-washy. And this is one of the rare times when a weak, a tepid White House response is in order. My greatest fear is that this administration, which is not thinking strategically but reacts to headlines, will try to cut ties formally with the Egyptian military. And there's a huge divide today, Martha, between the do-gooders and appeasers in the West who are concerned about this, and apparently in Egypt, the Egyptian people appear to support this military move, as the film clip you just showed demonstrated. The Muslim Brotherhood are thugs, and they're becoming terrorists. Their reaction was violent. They were not peaceful demonstrators. And ultimately, Martha, we need to keep our perspective and not be driven by headlines. The enemy of the Egyptian people and of the American people is Islamist extremism. The Egyptian army is not an ideal ally by any means, but they are a lot better than the medieval-minded bigots, thugs, and terrorists among the extreme Islamists in Egypt and elsewhere. For this is a regional struggle.
So it sounds like you're saying that, you know, what the White House needs to do is sort of watch all of this play out and not sort of, you know, crack down, not go after the military for this coup that they have brought about against the Muslim Brotherhood, which was democratically elected, but as you point out, turned to be not at all what the Egyptian people thought they were going to get during that election. You know, but you have to work these back channels, do you not? And is that not what Josh Earnest is suggesting the White House is trying to do right now?
Yes, and that's why I think the statement was, again, blessedly wishy-washy. Work the back channels. Don't grandstand. Again, all of this could have been avoided, Martha, as you just alluded to, had President Morsi not betrayed Egyptian democracy, this fledgling democracy, and tried to force Islamism on the bulk of the Egyptian people. I mean, he was elected on a protest vote, not because the Muslim Brotherhood has a majority in Egypt. And people rued that vote very, very quickly as the Muslim Brotherhood sought to dominate Egyptian life, force a Sharia-driven constitution on the Egyptian people. And so, yes, back channels, absolutely. And by the way, we need to get over our narcissism and recognize what's going on in Egypt isn't about us. It is about the people in Egypt and other peoples throughout the Middle East struggling against the fundamentalist extremists who are our enemies too. People struggling to build modern, decent, tolerant societies. And so far, the Obama administration's helped the wrong people by and large.
But, you know, I've heard that people on the street in Egypt are angry at the United States,
yes,
and that you would expect to have some support, you know, essentially for understanding their plight, right, and wanting them to get what they want, which is a stable democratic government that can ensure a better economy, that can bring back tourism eventually in Egypt. That is their only hope. What can we do, if anything, at this point, to at least show our strength, show our support for what the people of Egypt stand for?
Well, we need to avoid knee-jerk reactions. I mean, you're absolutely right, Martha. The White House, this administration, managed the near miracle of alienating every faction in Egyptian society. First supporting Morsi against the freedom demonstrators, then belatedly switching to the freedom demonstrators, behind the army, not behind the army. I mean, this is the most amateurish foreign policy administration I have ever seen in my lifetime. It makes the Bush administration look like a bunch of strategic geniuses, and boy, that's something. But the bottom line is, we cannot determine Egypt's future. The Egyptian people have to determine that. We can only play on the margins, and we should try to play constructively and not automatically assume, ooh, military bad, peaceful protesters who happen to be thugs good. And I'm appalled by hearing so many Western commentators condemning the military and seemingly siding with the Brotherhood when the Muslim Brotherhood would put these people in jail or far worse. The Egyptian people want a little bit of freedom. The Muslim Brotherhood came to power and tried to take that little bit of hard-won freedom away, and now you're seeing the reaction. Again, I don't like military coups, but the real coup was what Morsi and the Muslim Brotherhood did to that fledgling Egyptian democracy. We need to get our priorities straight, and our priority should be on the side of modernity, tolerance, progress, economic growth, decency, not on the side of bigoted, medieval, primitive, hate-filled religion directed against peaceful Muslims above all, because we should also remember that the victims of radical, fanatical Islam have overwhelmingly been decent, everyday Muslims.
Well, America can lead by example in some ways. In this kind of instance, your urging of caution is interesting and understood. Ralph, thank you very much. Volatile situation. We appreciate your insight as always, sir. Good to have you.